Thomas, well, and we're live. Good morning. Here we are. It is Monday morning. It is, what is it? It's EuroAsia Scrum. We've got Tommaso and Sanjay and myself in the house. Sanjay, just get you. Show us here. There you go. Sanjay's here. Hello. Good morning. There we go. Okay, so let's get on the screen share over here. Yeah, so we've got, just for Sanjay's benefit, who hasn't been in the sign-up before, basically we have, the site is designed to try and help make it as trivially easy to get into the stand-up as possible. So basically when the thing is live, we have a link to the actual, we have like an event page where you can click to join, that's that thing there, or, and you know, so potentially like, you can just sort of get in there. When the, as you may have seen when you've been to AutoGraders before, it has a countdown of like, you know, how long it is until that thing. And the idea is basically try and make it easy to get in there. We also have the, now you just joined the AutoGraders Slack. So we also have things like this Scrum notifications channel where we have @channel for all of the Hangouts that start, and then that also goes into the general without an error. Can I just out of interest, Tommaso, which route did you use to come into the Hangout? Did you come in?
Oh, usually the Slack one, because.
Sure.
But I didn't know about the Agile Ventures link. Yeah, but I think it could probably be easier to see.
Yes, it sort of depends if you have Slack constantly running in the background. I mean, basically, me as a Scrum Master or Stand-Up Master, I will come to Agile Ventures always to start the stand-up, because by starting it through there, it guarantees that it comes into the channels in the Slack. And basically, it's all about trying to make it easy for people to get together and join there. And so, I mean, the idea of the stand-up, which we run, so if we look at the About page on Agile Ventures, so if we look at the About page, we've got the timings of the stand-up. So we're here in this currently at 7, so UTC, we're 1 hour ahead of UTC. So we've got that in there. I guess actually, yeah, I'm going to change this round, because it used to be that I was it, but I'm now the regular. I'm almost feel like maybe we should call them, you know, stand-ups rather than scrums. But let's just move that around there. And oh no, I'm doing both those, aren't I? Yes. So I'm now the regular. I'm regular Scrum Master on both of these. And the idea is to try and make it so that you know, you're only ever a few hours away from a coordination point from a stand-up, where you can sort of work out what's going on. I think the biggest challenge we have is that a lot of people are just sort of shy, and they don't want to come into it. People don't necessarily know. So I think that's changed as well. Well, anyway, I'll ask the update there. Anichi is here. Hey, Ichi, how are you doing?
Hi, good morning. Thank you. Fine. Thanks.
Excellent. Good morning. Good to see you. Yeah, so we were just yeah, Sanjay's here as well. We're just going to go around. Maybe we will start with me. So I was off over the weekend. Oh, we managed to have a nice local support retrospective on Friday. That's reviewing the local support projects. That was myself and Michael, and I felt like, yeah, we went over, you know, a number of important things. I checked in. I think he's in principle on board with maybe deleting some of. I think about deleting all of the view specs and the controller specs to kind of like make the project a bit more lean, and he was happy with that. And we cleared up some ambiguity relating to the features in the.
I saw yesterday the video.
So did you watch the retrospective? Did you, Ichi?
Yeah, I watched it. Yeah, because I put it on the Slack. So.
Yes. And so, Tommaso, if you're interested, I don't know, you're in the local support channel, aren't you, Tommaso?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll just put that in there again, partly for
All right. Yeah, I've seen the link. Yeah.
So anyway, that was sort of a wrap up of the week. I thought we had a good week last week, and so yeah, over the weekend, I did actually the first 100 or so exercises of free code camp, actually, which I think is a very interesting. They have a very interesting model. It inspires me in all sorts of different ways. As usual, on the weekend I'm with the family, so not much coding. We'll do a few Haskell code kata on Code Wars because I'm addicted. But apart from that, yeah. And now it's a new week. Time to get going. Ichi, how are things with you today?
Fine. I did this. I mean, I fixed this problem with the map legend, but I just saw that you say that I fixed so many tabs. I didn't realize. Sorry.
So yeah, so we've got. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong thing there. Agile LocalSupport tools, LocalSupport projects. Yes. Yeah, so we've got the edit, this one here. This is ready to continue working on, right? If it needs a feature test, is that right?
Yes.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah. So you.
no, but this is a different. This is the organization categories edit.
Yeah. And then,
Okay, I thought yeah, and then
yeah,
the structure.
so this is the one. Is you made something to right? Oh yeah, I filed a bug report about the legend map losing its structure, and you sent this in. I think the only issue here, I think that John commented on, you see that you've lost the indentation.
Okay, I didn't realize that.
Like this. So maybe I mean, obviously you've got a branch for that, and you want to update the indentation there. And so the other thing is you can also add labels here. So if this is like if you're ready for others to start chatting about it, you can put this RFC label on there. It's something we're talking about in a client meeting. You see how we have things. We have the WIP, which stands for work in progress. We have the RFC, which is request for comments. So this one here, where we're not really ready for people to look at it. This is just we're kind of letting people know that we're working on it. That one's a work in progress. So I'll just put those labels on there for you. But going forward, let's flag our what kind of pull request it is, because sometimes it's just I'm putting it there so other people can have access to it. Other times we're putting it there because we actually want people to actively comment on it and so on. So are you blocked by anything at the moment, Ichi?
No. Well, yes. Because yesterday I tried also to work in the stylist of the edit of the categories edit. But I wanted to create a new branch, but because maybe it's not the best idea because it still is not finished the code.
Yeah, I think I probably wouldn't play too much with the styling of it until we've kind of got it,
You prefer refactoring first the code?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so. The thing is that what we've done here is we did kind of like a little spike, just to work out how to. An approach, and this is, we won't get into it now, but we've kind of gone for a sort of a simple workaround rather than maybe that the complete Rails solution doesn't exist, but we won't go into that in too much detail right now. So we've got a simple styling change, but so having got that to work, we now need to back up and on a new branch, with a clean code base, is write the feature test that specifies exactly whether it's going to work or not, and then hopefully not too many specs will fail, or we might end up just deleting those. I mean, the view specs, and then we should. In principle, this could be just a feature test only. We don't even need any unit tests. But so yeah. So I guess if that was the only block, then you're ready to go on this one. If we just check in, Tommaso is here, and he's saying, Tommaso, how are things with you?
So I was checking through the pull requests and the total tracker, and yeah, I'm still a bit confused about what's going on, really.
Sure. Yeah, no, absolutely, that's fine, and it's a big project running for a couple of years. There's a lot of things going on, so being confused is a perfectly acceptable state. We certainly don't expect to magically know what's going on. And my advice to Ichi at the beginning is just focus on a single thing at a time. Talking to yourself or to needs or other people coming to the project, I think they often feel like maybe they have to kind of understand everything and then pick items off the backlog and just do them, which is not what we expect at all. The way that the whole Agile Ventures flow works is the idea that you're not supposed to be working independently. Ideally, you're always working in a pair, and then also, in order to understand how these features and these bug fixes and cures and all the things in the Pivotal Tracker fit into the overall project, you come in the stand-ups. Every day, 8:30, 3:45, we sit down and we talk and we try and work that out. Of course, if you can't wait till that time, there's the local support thing. So just keep asking questions there.
Yeah.
We'll get you sorted out. But so I guess where I would suggest that you started, Tommaso, if you're free now, is to pair with Ichi on this particular feature that we'd started spiking. Categories.
I'm sorry. I've lost a bit of it. We started spiking because there's been a bit of a lag.
Okay, so your audio is breaking up. I don't know if you can get onto a better, which of course may be an issue on our side because sometimes the maker's audio.
Yeah, I don't know. It's most probably mine.
I guess what I'll do is I'll post the. So what I was saying was, if you're free, then I would recommend that what you should do today is work with Ichi on this UT Bratto. That's I'm trying to find your I put that in the Slack. So this is the pull request that Ichi and I helped a bit started, where we spiked a solution to this issue that the customer has. And maybe I'll just describe the issue that the customer has. So this is the main site, and the issue that the customer has was that these categories are not in their three groupings. Now, Ichi has already done the work and to split them in the view page, the show page, into these three sections. So of the different categories that a charity or organisation, non-profit can be in, they are split by the UK government into what they do, who they help, and how they help. This is all looking good here. However, if we go into the edit page, at the moment, the edit categories, although they're within this one single box, split into what you do and who you help and so on, right? This is the edit page for updating the details about the charity. The customer is concerned, and I think we share that concern, that for the relatively non-technical users coming in here, they might not realize that they can scroll down in this text.
Right.
They might just, not notice it's in there. So Ichi and I spiked away to adjust the formatting so that this edit categories box would be split into three. I don't know if we have. Did you have the spike running locally, Ichi?
But the one I have is the last one we did to just try to fix something for the client.
Yeah. Okay. Well, don't worry. I can probably find. I can probably find it relatively quickly if we actually need to look at it. I just want to get it. What do we call it? The old spike category edit. There we go. Yeah, check out. Let's have that. Okay. Right. So I'm just running this in another window. But the corresponding story in the tracker, I guess just for that's Sanjay. Oh, it's coming up now. Hold on. Here we go. Oh, I haven't got it set up. Oh well, I think anyway. Potentially, you can get back to it, Ichi, and I guess is it working in the? Is it working in your? What's your? So you put this in. Oh, it's all cat edits. Here we go.
Yes, but I did it another way.
I have no idea.
I did it with a simple way.
Oh yeah.
Adding the tips for each.
Yes, the simple way, exactly. Yeah, I'm just trying to see here if I've got the that version. Here we go.
Yeah.
So, anyway, let's. I mean, this part also.
I can share that one, the simple one.
Yeah, don't worry, Ichi. We'll get to
Okay.
it in a minute. We'll see.
Okay.
Oh, here we go. Yeah. So
Okay.
it's not very nice in style, but can you see here, Tommaso?
Yeah.
How this is split into.
So you have the split between. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and there's a whole thing of like we were trying to do it by like the. I mean, I went through all this with Ichi on Friday morning. There's like basically what we have here is a form field that's trying to update multiple models at once, not just the organization model, but the relationships between the organization model and the categories model, and that's non-trivial in Rails, and the code associated with it is, yeah.
Sorry.
Goes around. No problem. My hay fever was so bad this weekend. But so partly for Sanjay and Tommaso's benefit. If we just look at the local support pivotal tracker, which is what we're coordinating everything through here. So we've got basically, Tommaso, I guess, are you not so familiar with how pivotal tracker works?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but you've used Trello before, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you've used Trello.
Yes.
Yes. So the difference really is there's a number of custom things that are specific to Agile project development. So what we have is, instead of having Trello, like in Trello, we have bugs, so which have a little bug symbol. These green ones here are ones that are, have been fixed. We have chores, and chores are things that we just need to do, but they're not things that the client has asked for explicitly. So sometimes you just have to like upgrade your Hookup plan, or you have to do this, or you have to do that. Basically, anything that's not specifically a bug or a user story goes in as a chore of something to do. And then we have these stars here. They're features that basically correspond to user stories or a particular scenario on a user story. So we've got two here. We've got some way to indicate what the map icons mean. This one has been deployed. So if we look at the main site, this is something that it's not there. The main site. Let's go home. This is something that Ichi and I were working on. This map legend is now deployed, and it's ready for the customer to approve. So in the meeting on Thursday, assuming the customer's happy with that, she'll let us click accept. So also another thing that's just gone out and been deployed is now we have a new organization form like this that you previously couldn't get. This was previously done out of band by Google Form, and our East Coast US team put this together and have got that working, so we're pleased with that. So from the point of view of you guys, as if you're developers on the project or what have you, you don't need to worry about these things. The accept stuff is only ever clicked by the client or by project manager myself in coordination with the client. So we've got some, outstanding things here. I think Jade and Ichi started working on this bug here, although that didn't be finished. I think partly because Jade popped off. That if you're looking for things to do, Tommaso and Ichi, that's something that you could pick up, because it seems like we're not going to hear from Jade, well, or at least she's not around at the moment. We've got the display categories in 3 columns. That looks like that's finished actually now, isn't it, Ichi?
Yes, actually,
We've got that on the develop server, so I'll click finish there, and but that hasn't been delivered yet. It hasn't gone out to the production server, so it's going to stay there. So basically, anything the deliver and the accept, you can leave to me as the project manager. For you, for anyone as a developer, you can click Start to claim ownership that you're working on something, to let other people start on it, or they want to start on it. And when you're happy that something's done, and there's a pull request that you've done, you can click Finish. So then we've got, so this is the one here. So this is the one that I guess we're primed and ready to start working on today. I'll just post that into Slack there, Tommaso. So this is the have I already? Yeah, no, right. So this is the one that's being worked on at the moment. You can actually see they're interested. They've got I've been posting some of the code that we spiked for a more kind of codey solution to this problem that didn't quite give us what we wanted, and we've kind of backed out to say let's just sort of adjust it via the divs. And so if you have any updates on this feature, you and Ichi might do a pull request. You might have comments or concerns. You can put them in here, and they'll automatically be, come into the local support Slack channel. It's all good. That's kind of our place for storing information about that particular thing. And then we've got what's this one? Style the categories type when display and page. Oh, okay. Yeah. So this one, yeah, this is also that was the nice styling of it, which I think you finished. Ichi will see what the client says about that. We're looking for client feedback on that. There's something here that the East Coast team is working on, and then this is the bug that Ichi was working on there. So these are the things that people are all currently working on. And then in the backlog, we've got lots of individual bits and pieces, that there's bugs that should be dealt with, chores that should be dealt with, and then new features that could be started. So in principle, you can be, as you make progress, just choosing new ones of these, but always feel free to say that you see a bug in there and you're not sure what it is. Ask questions about it, and we have these meetings to sort it out. Does that all make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay. So I think that's our stand-up. Because Sanjay, I mean, you know, I can include you in the stand-up, but I guess this is the first one.
Yeah.
Any comments or questions or thoughts on any of this?
No, not right now.
Cool.
Looks good.
All right. Yeah, Ichi and Tomoko, do you need any help getting started on the next stage of this, you know, edit modes, display categories in 3 columns?
You said we need to create a feature test, but I thought we didn't, because do we really need tests that we have 3 divs instead of 1? Is that important?
It's an interesting question. It's an interesting question. Yeah, if we look here, I mean, I guess that the issue is that, you know, yeah, we're changing the layout of the page, you know, in divs or what have you. And you could argue, I mean, in general, like, we don't want to lock our test to be specific to a particular HTML layout. However, in this case, the customer has asked for a particular, you know, but these things are broken out in the same way as, do we have it? Is it not deployed? Yeah, it is deployed, actually. And it's even delivered. Yeah, like this styling of the categories, right, is something that specifically the customer asked for. And so what we have in the project is, you know, there's so many different things that the customer has asked for, and we need to keep track of them. And so our feature tests are our documentation of what the customer has asked for. Now, we could say, oh, well, it's going to be obvious if, let's say, that this layout breaks, right, if the things are not appearing in the right sections. However, there are hundreds, literally hundreds, and in bigger systems, thousands and tens of thousands of things that need to be kind of just so, and ideally we want an automated way of checking that any other change that we make doesn't, you know, screw them up. But so, and I think the way that we did this with this one, and we'll maybe look at the test. If we go in here for inspect elements, yeah. So actually, you went ahead. I guess I finally convinced you, or maybe not. I guess here at the moment, we're not like we don't have an idea. I don't know how we're actually checking this. Let's go and have a look at the test that we have for it. I have a feeling, Ichi, that maybe it's still in the way, you know, it's hard-coded to the particular HTML layout. I very strongly advocate that it should be linked, you know, we should have an ID specifying this is the container. Like, so in this context, what we care about is not whether this is a list item or a div or a P or whatever. What we care about is that the religion category appears in the container for what they do. That is the, you know, kind of like implementation independent thing that the client cares about and that we want to support. So if we go into, and I'll go and look at the show spec, I'm just bringing up the code here. So we've got, oh, we can get you set up with RubyMine if you're interested, Tommaso, if you want to try that, or just stick with Sublime for the moment if that's easier for you. You can maybe see how Ichi uses it, and there's advantages to using it. It's a bit heavier than Sublime, though. But so if we go into organizations and we look at the show page here, so like what I would strongly advocate is having, you know, for this test, and maybe we can get Sam Morgan's opinion on this as well, is having, you know, an ID in here like this to be checking that these things are appearing inside this container. So if later on we change that to a div or a P or what have you, that it's on. I know, Ichi, that you don't like having IDs for the purpose of testing there, but I feel like that, you know, makes sense for me. If we go and actually look at the feature that we've got, was it the is it the charity page where we've got the categories? Do you remember which was the
in charities page?
Oh yeah, here we go. Yes. Yeah, so we've got here, and you can see actually one of the benefits of RubyMine here, Tommaso. If I do, so I'm here in the Cucumber feature, like I should see health in what they do. So this is something that the customer has asked for. This is our documentation of what the customer wants. So in here I can click on, I can do Command B, and in this other window here, it automatically takes me to precisely the selector that's underpinning that scenario. Now this is, I mean, Ichi and I discussed this. This was Ichi's preferred way, is so that the selector under the hood here is now specifically locked to the particular kinds of HTML. So if we, for example, change the LI to something else, then it will break. If which the customer has not specified changes, then this will break. So I see this as somewhat as a brittle test. But I would be advocating for this other change that we're making, which is to have these things to be split into 3 categories, that we should have a feature test, of this kind. Now I won't, I'll leave it in your hands, Ichi and Tommaso, exactly what kind of feature test that you make. But again, I would kind of advocate towards having something like, an appropriate ID in order to make sure that things that should be in a particular container are in that container. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I'll see if I can get Sam Morgan to comment on that today. It might seem like a relatively trivial thing to have a feature test for, but particularly as you have a large project, these things, having robust feature tests for what the customer wants, I think is quite important. So I don't know if that's convinced you, Ichi, about the value of having a feature test in this case.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you now.
I wonder if I've convinced you of the value of having the feature test.
Yes, you did. But I thought you told me you don't need to change it, so I didn't change it because you said I'm not saying that you have to change it. So I was confused. But I don't mind. I understand what you mean. So.
Well, what I would say is, what I said was, rather than you rushing to change this, I was just using it as an example. Rather than rushing to change it, I wanted to get Sam Morgan's input on it, and I will track him down today and bring his head to the screen and get a judgment from him on that. But I think either way, it's important to understand both alternatives, and I think particularly for Tommaso today, if there's an extent to which each of you can take Tommaso through what you've learned, can show him the kind of flow of setting these things up, of why we won't need a unit test in this case, why we'll only do a feature test, and so on. I think that would be for your benefit, and what I would encourage you both to do is to swap driver and navigator roles via GitHub Pong as frequently as makes sense for you. Okay.
But going back to the edit one,
yes,
because for me it's different, because in this one we couldn't see the different types of categories, but in edit they already were there, the different categories and types of categories and the categories that correspond to each. So it's for that I thought it wasn't needed a feature test, because already it's shown in the way the user wants. The only thing is they want 3 columns, but the content is already already a feature test for this content.
You might be right that there's an existing feature test so we've got a set of existing things. Here we go. So actually, well, it might well be that we've actually got an existing test that's okay. So it may be you might be able to get away with not writing a feature test if you can co-opt this one to do all the right things. But I suspect that's what this one does. Yeah. See, again, what we've got here, and so this is an example of why the feature test or the cucumber steps that are kind of hard-coded to particular layouts are undesirable. So I think Michael, who did this originally, he's followed the same path that you did, and he's currently got a step in here that is very possibly, I might be wrong, you have a look into it, but see, he's got here, it's sort of checked to following sibling, and I don't know. There's the danger here that the way the text is written is hard-coded to the HTML, so that when we change the layout with the divs and so on, that this may break. I mean, we'll see. But that's, I think, something for you to now investigate. And so if you're lucky, this actually turns out to be robust enough, and the change that we make in the layout doesn't kill it, or it creates a problem, in which case we're kind of sensibly adjusting the steps here, or the nature of the test, in order to make it more robust. And I think you can see there, like, how that's a sort of an analogy for why it would be sensible for there's one here. Yeah, the steps underneath here to be similarly robust. Yeah. Okay. Well, unless you have any other questions, I'll leave you to get to it. You might want to create a new Hangout. Any other questions?
No, for me, I think now it's okay.
Yeah, Tommaso?
So yeah, it's right. So we work on this feature test, right?
Yeah, and so
And the adjusting layout, adding IDs, and trying to test with that one.
yeah, that would be my recommendation. And you know, if that turns out to be very simple and is all done, there's I think there's a couple of other things that Ichi has got started in the current that you could get onto, and then other things in the backlog. And but again, whatever you do, don't suffer in silence. If you're getting stuck for more than 20 minutes, like talk about it in Slack. Don't spend 3 hours banging your heads against the same thing, being stuck on it. That's the way of madness. So okay, I think that's about the size of it. Yeah, and I'll catch up with you guys at 3:45, if not before.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Oh, and I'll just show the final thing is, I think you guys know, but so whenever you're creating a Hangout to work in, do use the projects page for local support. And what that means is that the Hangout link will be posted. If you do click Start a Hangout on there on the project page, that'll be posted into the local support. And that means if you're having trouble, then I can jump in to help you, or others can jump in to help you, or there you go. Yep.
All right.
All right. Great. Have fun, guys. Catch up with you soon.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.
Bye for now.
Bye.